Yeah, we'll see how that goes. All right, so I'm getting ready to stream here. It's loading. Looks like we're
Yeah.
live. Hey.
All right. My gosh. We're so excited for Scott. He's going to be teaching and he's going to do a presentation next Wednesday.
Yeah, I'm going over to Atlantic City. I actually fly over there on Sunday and I'll be hanging out with some DJs and uh this is a 6-year goal of mine to be able to be a presenter at one of these if I could talk, be a presenter at one of the expos. And this is something that I've attempted at and I've auditioned to many different ones. And well, here we go. I finally landed it. And well, I'm excited to be a part of it. And well, I'm putting my time in and I want to make sure that I deliver value. And at the same time, I want to make sure to be able to continue doing it. So I'm putting my best foot forward. And anybody out there that will be in Atlantic City, make sure to hit me up. I already put together some different giveaways and people that may be looking for the information that I'm presenting, slideshows and information to help you grow your business, right? So that's what I've been working on today. Yeah. So many different things with AI. And the funny thing is, there's the lane for what I want to talk about is wide open. I don't know how many different the different expos and different places that I've been and different sales seminars. This is not really talked about in the DJ community. And well, I think the lane for me is there all day. It's in the marketing world, they call it a blue ocean. So if you're not familiar with that, there's I forget the name of the book, but there's a book out there that talks about a red ocean, and that's basically where the piranhas are, and they're all trying to, get that one lead or whatever. But what I'm talking about is something a little bit different, which is a blue ocean, which is a different way or perspective to look at something to be able to tackle whatever the goal is. And my goal here is to get more clients and run a more efficient event business. And that's what I'll be talking about in Atlantic City.
Yeah.
Did I talk in
Basically,
circles there, or was it like?
well, maybe a little, but
I'm just
what
so
we're getting,
excited. I got so many like the
I
ADHD
know
running, right?
some of the takeaways is that because you have a business that you're using this stuff and it's really helping you out, will be a good thing to say, like the leads. So right now, how much time do you think AI is saving you a week? I mean, that would be a good question towards you. How much do you think? Because it's doing a lot of your work that you don't have to, because you don't have to be by the phone every second, because it's answering the questions that the people would be asking you while you're doing something else.
Well, when you come to think about time, right? The thing is, you could tell AI to do a task for you. And then while that's doing that task, like, because ADHD, right? Oh, go do this task, and then I'll go over here and work on this other project, and then I'll work on this other project, then I'll come back to that task, and it's completed. And it does it, because I've trained it to do what I want. For instance, uh, Lewis, he sent me an email yesterday, and he said, I need a tech for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Here are the times, and here's the event address. So what I did was I went into a custom GPT that I made, and the custom GPT means it's already programmed on how I wanted to respond and what I wanted to do. And it was also an agent. So a custom GPT inside of an agent connected to my Google Calendar. So what it did was I took all the information from the email, I put the contact information of the person who's in charge of the account and said, put this into my Google Calendar. So as it was taking all the information that I put in there, it put it in my Google Calendar. While it was doing that, I said, are you available for this shift? Are you available for this shift? Are you available for this shift? So it was multitasking. And then by the time it put it into my calendar, I had 3 people to do the shifts. And then all I had to do was add their email address to the Google Calendar invite, which it did for me automatically. And then I moved on with my day, which took 10, 15 minutes, where normally it probably would, I don't know, how long does it take you to do 3 events, 3 different times, you know,
Yeah,
if
well,
you
it
didn't have
depends on
AI?
how many entertainers are going to
One
be there.
one
But
person per event.
yeah,
So, but it was,
so you okay, on mine, I have a little different system. You have calendar where you say, "Are you available?" and it goes out, and they come back. I call it everybody individually. So it would take me to get 3 events like that. 2 hours,
yeah. So I had that done
two
within
to three
15 minutes.
hours, and it would be different because I on my side, I don't go to the next person. until the other one responds. So I'm not, they don't, I'm not on speed dial. I mean, so if I call you, I'm going for the best one I can get. I want the number one at what I can get at that time in the industry. So I wait a little bit unless I don't have any, and then I'll call two or something like that. But I don't like to call like six people, even though there's six people out there, because when they call back, they get I think they get a little negative brownie point. What I call it is when you offer somebody a job and then you take it back. And I don't like to do that for my company. But
Sure.
I'm smaller. I'm a smaller company than you are. What time I at one time I was big, bigger, but not as big as yours. I wasn't. I mean, I was putting out up to 30 people a week, but that was years ago. So, and right now I'm not doing that. And if I was, I would definitely get on your schedule and say, go do that. I uh, almost semi-retired, so it's like I'm just pretty much playing, and I'm still doing gigs. I because like 5 years ago, I was pretty much just a happiness coach and helping people to become whoever they wanted, and NLP, and then hypnosis, and then happiness coaching, and then also running my entertainment company that clowns, mimes, jugglers, and all that. But look how much time it takes me to do any of the tasks it takes you. I mean, you can get something in 15 minutes done that could take me almost a whole day.
Not just like getting it done in 15 minutes, but being like the most thorough and most organized and most recorded, right? You can always go back and double check any of the information that was given to you. And there's been plenty of times where I could just export a conversation that I had on one of my text messages and then put that into ChatGPT. And this is what I did a couple days ago. I was like, oh, I had this conversation with this venue. How much did I quote them? What was the day? What details were involved? And I just exported all of that into a chat, and then it told me all the highlights because I have so many conversations and can't remember them all. And it was time for me to send a contract, and well, it basically just told me all the information, put a contract together, and then sent it out. And then, of course, the automation will just follow up with them. And as soon as that's signed, then you can move forward with the event. And these are the things that I'll be talking about in Atlantic City, how to be more
Now,
efficient.
here's a sucky question. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any drawbacks to, switching over to what you're saying? What would you say? Because I'm going to tell you, more than likely, most people will never believe that everything's 100% beautiful with any system. So, what would some of the drawbacks be?
Okay, so first, you wouldn't want to jump all in at once, right? If you were doing a certain system, you would add a little bit at a time so that you could correct or reprompt if need be. Because okay, so in the entertainment business, there's not many people that are doing what I'm doing. I haven't found any, but at the same time, the entertainment business runs differently than like a roofing business, right? So the drawback would be getting things to work for the individual company, because I can have something that works good for me doesn't mean it works good for every single person that would be under me, or take a prompt and copy and paste it, right? So they would have some different things that they would have to add and subtract. And when it comes to using AI or implementing AI, understand everything out the box may need some tinkering, and that would be a drawback. Putting up your fail safe, I call them baby bumpers. Like when you go bowling, they have these bumpers in the lane. You would want to start with the things that you don't want it to do and then move forward with what you want it to do. For example, let's say you didn't give your prices out. You would tell it, hey, don't give it any prices. Just tell them to book a call or give us a call on the phone or something like that. And I guess a drawback that I ran into the other day recently, it was that I was explaining to a venue owner that I used AI, and their response was, "Oh, we'll use AI for leads, but we once they come in, we're going to handle it all personally." So then I was like, well, we're probably going to have to sit down and have some coffee so I can explain the process to you. So the drawback would be understanding the process, understanding how to utilize it to the best of your ability. And then maybe adapting a little bit to understand how that works so you can become scalable, right? So you want to look at your system and be able to break it down into smaller chunks and then not expect a drawback, right? Like everybody thinks AI can do everything all at once within one chat. And you want to separate your AIs or your LLMs or custom GPTs one specific job. This is a lead. Okay, this chat GPT just handles the leads that come in. This is a customer. This one just handles customers. Oh, social posts. This one just handles social posts, right? And then not many people that I've run into look at their business as a roadmap, right? So basically, understanding what your roadmap is and what the blueprint is for what you want each person to do, depending on where they're at on your roadmap. A lead is going to need a nurture sequence, right? A customer is going to need responses on what your operations are. Same thing with your employees. They're going to need a different set of information for your employees than what somebody else would want for another type of event, whether it's a wedding or a corporate event or if you're talking to like your accountant, right? You'd want a different custom GPT for that. I know it starts to get a little complicated, but a lot of people out there try and go for the all-in-one method. That is a bad way to look at it. And that's just words, right? Copy. That's just, responding to emails and stuff. And then there's other types of AI that, for building a website or getting registered with LLMs. When I was doing my research on this presentation, I found out this is going to get you. People are doing 68% click less, no clicks purchasing. What does that mean? That means people are going to ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, and saying, "What's the best DJ?" And then they just go and do that without even going to the website. So if you're not even registered with an LLM, you're not even going to be considered moving forward. So right now, Google is still king, right? I don't know exact numbers, but Google, people are searching on Google more than LLMs or whatever. But that number of LLMs or chat GPTs has increased and become 68% non-clickable purchases.
Yeah, I've been there too, and I don't use the computer as much as you do, remember? And
Yeah.
so I do. I don't necessarily think when I ask the the chat box or whatever, it's going to tell me the exact thing I need to know. But I'm going to assume it knows way more than I do. And so when I ask it questions like that, I'm assuming that it knows the people in the industry. And yet, like you just said, if you're not even on that, they're not even looking at you. They're just using the people who are using the information. That's like not being on a list you need to be on. It's sort of like what's that called? We'll get them preferred vendor list.
Yeah.
So
And yeah, that'll
that's
still
almost
be a thing
like,
too.
I'm sorry.
That'll still be a thing too. Like there's a lot of people
Yeah.
out there that are good with smoozing or talking to people at vendors and getting on the preferred vendor list, and they can have, events fed to them from venues, which is still a thing. But then you'd
Yeah,
have,
referrals. I mean, definitely a referral is a strong, strong thing to have, but also, from the AI is a strong thing to have because people are starting to think that AI knows so much more than you. You know,
yeah,
I
but
mean, you know what I mean? I'm serious. Everybody I know thinks that they can ask AI anything. It's going to tell them the exact answer they want to hear. And yet I assume it's not totally 100% true that it knows everything.
it's trained to
But
be
I would
agreeable.
say it knows more than I do.
And it's trained to be agreeable.
Yeah. So
And
it's going to,
so I had somebody else come up to me and they were like, "Well, yeah, I told it to do this and then it didn't do that. And then when I said it didn't do that, it says, 'Oh yeah, you're right. Let's do it this way.' And it did it wrong again." Well, I mean, the thing is, you got to check what model you're using and what capacity you're using it at. So when you use ChatGPT, there's this thing called instant, it's called thinking, and then I think it's called like expert or something like that. But you want to leave it on thinking so that the instant one just wants to get you an answer and get out of here, right? Where the thinking was, oh, okay, this is what they said. Let me go back through my uploaded documents, and then now let's produce a better product, right?
Well, that brings me to something when I we talk a lot is better questions get better answers. Once you learn to talk to AI better, that you can get the responses that uh, you're wanting more likely. Like you already do that. What we were talking before, you train. My little brain goes to the kids movie, Training Your Dragon, because each thing you're training. So, like you said, you everything has it, you train it, and like we were talking a few weeks ago that you at first you get 250 questions, and you answer all those questions, and that brings you into a thing, and then after that you got to figure out what, like you said, start slow and then work out those kinks, because till you ask it the right question, it's just not going to do the exact what you want. So I mean, it's got for
Yeah.
months we've been talking about that the little kinks that go in there, and it does a little bit different than what you thought it was going to do, and that's why I believe what you're saying it would be true. Don't take the whole chunk. Don't get overwhelmed. Start slow, work out, and then work each individually part that's working in your section, just like you said, like a roadmap. And that's the same way with, it's the same thing what we do in, NLP and hypnosis. Basically, where would you want to be in 3 years, and then you backtrack it all the way to here, and what do you have to do in each step? And then again, we always go back to the well-formed outcome. So what do you want and how we're going to get there? And your AI is basically training each individual part to do what your company needs it to do. It's not everybody. Everybody's got an individual company, and you have to train it for your company, because most every company has different little clicks, different guarantees. So when whatever part on that sales pitch you're going to, the lead, then a soft lead, then warm or hot and ready to book kind of thing. Go ahead.
Yeah, there's no, you push a button and all of a sudden you got money. It doesn't work like that. I mean, even if you had all the best system in the world, and if you're just a jerk during the sales call, that doesn't give you the end result, right? No, everything is just like a tool to get you to the next step, to make someone feel comfortable in the ecosystem, to make, it's you or another person, like or multiple other companies they could be looking at, right? Have you set yourself apart? Are you together? And this is the stuff that I'll be explaining. Well, I only got an hour, but like I got 2 hours of material, so we'll see how it goes. But basically, like the structure, right? You got to start with a business brain. Like I have a document of like 21 categories, and it asks you how you run your business. Now, once you have this document, then you can go and create custom GPTs for whatever you're looking to do. And then now that you have custom GPTs, then you can become more efficient depending on what's going on. And that's just like copy and words, right? And then there's the other things that you can produce like video and imagery. And well, right now on the web it's the big thing of, oh, this guy used AI flyers. It's like, how efficient can you be? And in the world that we live in today, how fast are things moving? Like, do you have time to go out and hire a professional, a graphic person to make an image for you? Versus somebody who might look at it once, and then move on. And when you're creating tons of content, because every time you talk to a client, they want something different, right? A video wall image or a video is going to be something different than a wedding. And then this person is going to be like, oh, but I want a Latin thing. And this person is going to be like, I want a corporate event. It's like, uh, how much can you do? How fast can you do it? How efficient can you be at it? And can you make it small enough chunks to make it scalable, right? So not everybody out there can hire a virtual assistant or, like, or a real person to sit in the office and help you manage these things all day. Even though you do need to have a personality so that people know that there's a human behind whatever's going on. At the same time, do you have your little soldiers doing what they need to do and the automation working to follow up with everybody and make sure everybody's on the same page? And when you're managing, I don't know, 300 plus clients and 20 some odd contractors or employees, how else are you going to be able to do it efficiently? And then, there's always that, oh, this guy could do it for lower. And then if you have to keep lowering your prices, then that doesn't really help you out either. I mean, there is a way to be efficient, there is a way to scale, and there is a way to make sure that the client is getting what they need in the end. And at the end of the day, in the entertainment business, don't you just want to be an entertainer? Don't you want to make the rest of the process thoughtless, right? Like I want to make that contract process as thoughtless as possible so I can enjoy the moment of being on stage. That's kind of what we're all doing here. But yet, this is the journey of an entrepreneur, right? Like I had another coach explain it to me where, oh, you started out as a chef and now you wanted to make a business out of it. Now you have to hire all these people. Now you got to get all these clients to hire all these people. And then every time you get success, it creates more bills, right? Like you get all this gear and now you have to have a storage unit and that's a bill. So you have to make sure that the income is still coming in and the cycle doesn't stop unless you stop. And then you have to ask yourself if you're ready to do that goal, if you're ready for what it is. Because once you buy, Beloved and I were talking about it earlier today. You bought a video wall. Well, whatever needs to happen from here needs to happen. Like you still need to spend $4,000 on a crane. You better get that crane or you're not getting the gig. Like there is no turning back at this point. And how are you going to do it?
Energy builds energy, money builds, you got to spend money to make money. These are cliches you hear all the time. uh you know, if you don't try, you'll never make it. So all these things do kind of fit in here. It's like uh they're growing pains too. I mean, to grow, you have to do different things. Sometimes you have to do the things that other people won't do to get where other people won't get. So if you, here's where I find a lot of it is where people expect you to give them the whole picture and answer on just a little piece of paper and it's all done, but it's not. It's always a constant because your business is constantly changing. Your customers are usually constantly changing in your venues. I mean, just because it's a wedding doesn't mean it's going to be exactly the same wedding for anyone else because you're going to have different cues. You're going to have different spaces. So, I mean, a lot of it is scalable that you can put in, but like you just said, every once in a while there's going to be a glitch, and you're still going to have a human at the end because most people aren't going to just sign with not talking to a human at the end. I would say at least right now. Later on, they might. But for a wedding or something where it's very personable, what's your
Well,
thought on
so
that?
here's the thing. You could be working on a project and are you going to stop everything that you're doing to answer the same email? What's your prices? Like, or I'm thinking about having an event and they don't give you the details or the date or anything. Like, are you available between this month? Like, is that
Yeah,
is that
and not
really
only
worth?
that,
Like,
it's not even. They just say in general, I'm going
yeah,
to have
yeah,
a wedding someday.
yeah, yeah,
It's a
yeah.
hypothetical question. It's hypothetical. If for some reason I meet somebody and I'd like to have a wedding, how much is it going to cost me? But look how many variables there are. Well, where's it going to be? How many hours you going to have? Oh, is it going to be? How much are you wanting to spend? What do you want? Do you
Yeah,
want a DJ? What do or is there going to be dancing? Is there going to be? What do you have?
yeah,
Where do you want to?
yeah.
There's so many questions, and yeah, you can scale all that with AI, where it can answer you most of those questions. But at the end of the day, you're still going to need to talk to a person to make that final sign, I think.
But how would you be able to work on any other project if you're getting
That's what I'm saying.
getting
See,
that,
you
right?
don't have, this is what I'm saying. That AI
Like,
can do all that stuff and then it's almost all done because we start out where if they want information, they ask AI, what do we provide? And then you can go to the next AI, what's the pricing? These things cost this. What would this do? Will these things work together? Now we're still here, and you haven't even talked to this person.
yeah,
And now it's getting warmer at each place. And by the time they're here, they're ready to book and they already know kind of what the pricing would be, ups and downs, what's a good minus, because when you're setting up your thing, said you can put a whole AI frequently asked questions about our company. So, if you're a bride, here's some questions we'll ask you. Do you have the answers to these? And this is uh, this is to give us more. If you fill out our form here, we can give you even the answers to all these. So you can have all that automated before you even talk to them. And by the end, you can just push a button and say, "Oh, I see your information's here." And here's what we would do or we recommend for you, and yet we're flexible so we can move it around. And but this is how, and here's 10 different weddings we did that way, and it really worked out fine. And here's the other way too, 10 different ones. But you could have all that automated, and that's why all the questions, and you didn't have to do any of that half hour sales pitch.
yeah,
You
with
know what I'm saying?
everybody, right? Like
With everybody.
times that
Yeah,
times six, seven
yeah.
hundred. You know,
Like 700 hours.
yeah,
You're saving 700 hours with no hours at all, except setting it up, and then it's set up.
yeah.
So,
So I look at it like how people go gold mining, like they got this dirt and they're doing one of these things. Look,
yeah. Oh my God.
the AI can filter the dirt out for you.
Yeah. Get all that dirt out and just look for those bigger chunks.
Yeah.
And it's like,
And what was it? Another conference that I went to, they're like, yeah, a client will pay more for the customization, right? So if versus what did somebody say to me? Oh yeah, if they go to my website and there's a information gathering or a chat bot, they just leave. Like, well, maybe those aren't good clients for you. People that didn't want to find out more information, or they couldn't put their email into an email chain. If they can't do that, then you probably don't want them.
that's what I'm saying. And also, too, is you can weed out those customers that you wouldn't want anyway.
Yeah.
You know, if per se, if somebody doesn't have an email these days, if they can't give you an email, they're not interested. I mean, if they're coming to your company to ask questions, because that's what I call just a kicker of a tire, and that's not even, that doesn't get past a lead hardly. It's like I don't. I mean, I think those the people are just kicking tires, and they're going to kick 100 of them. They're really not worth your time until it becomes warmer. And if you got an AI and this is your, because
It's
it's
your
gonna,
guard. You gotta get past the guard.
right, you got if you're not getting past the guard, we don't even want to talk to you. Why waste? That's just a waste of our time. So
Yeah.
it qualifies the people. It's a good qualifier to, because let's just say you had really good advertisement and you're getting 200 calls a day. Not not that you would, or but it could happen. Or let's just say 100. 100 times an hour, 100 hours a day, fudge, So half of those people you don't even need. So what I do now, because I can, and this is where we want everybody to be, is you can cherry pick who you want to work with. When I was younger, I couldn't cherry pick. I had to go in there and swim with those piranhas.
That's another thing too. What I find is that people don't want to spend any money getting leads, right? They just want more gigs, but they haven't done anything to get more leads coming in, or they'll say something like, "Oh yeah, I'm on a referral. I get most of my stuff from referral, but I just want more business." Well, that model is as much as you're gonna get. Like, and if anything, it tapers off. Like,
Especially with weddings.
yeah, they get married, they're done.
Yeah, we're hoping,
Yeah, unless they come back. But yeah, my referral business is lower. I would say like 10%. Like and we do them often, but not like anything I would, run my business on. It would, but they do come back. But you got to have paid leads to come in so that they can see you, right? Again, Google or the Knot or Gig Event Detective. There's a few others out there, but that's or another thing I'll be talking about in my presentation in Atlantic City is that you can use AI to go and scrape all your local businesses, right? All your local wedding venues or event planners, and then you can send emails to them saying, "Hey, look, I'd love to be on your preferred plan or your preferred vendor list, and I would even DJ like a company party for you for free or something like that, or anything to get my foot in the door." And that's another way you could generate more gigs, or at least get in the door with other venues, because that's where the work is, right? And like if somebody says, "Hey, look, this is the people on our list," they'll be more comfortable knowing that you are already approved versus, somebody else that maybe they don't know. Yeah, I do know people out there hire their cousin to go do something, and those are probably not the people that are willing to spend the money to have a professional anyway. So again, that's just another way AI can help you out. You can go scrape them all, send emails out, and whoever responds. Again, another thing too, right? Like you just can't say, "Hey, put me on your list," right?
Well,
Like there's
the truth
persuasion
is,
involved, right?
for both you, me, and most of the venues, it's our reputation. So if we refer a bad DJ, if I'm let's say I own a venue and I say this is a good and you do terrible, it comes back to me. That's my reputation I'm messing up. So
So yeah,
to
you would
get
have to
out
go
of
out so they could sample your work. Even if
right,
these wedding venues or event venues have open houses, they just like have
right.
vendors come in, and you could do that for free. Or company parties, like, oh yeah, we're having a holiday party for our staff, like at a country club, and well, you could do that. You have to offer value first, or for anybody, they call it digital donuts or donuts. I guess in a sales pitch, you would walk in and, oh, here's some donuts. Will you at least hear me out, right? And that's kind of what you would do in this situation, because if you didn't offer anything, there would be no reason to hear you. And it's another thing too. I know DJs play music, and it's really hard to think about how to offer value, right? Because you're a DJ and you're an entertainer, and it's all subject to whatever you're doing. But at the same time, if you show that you care and apply yourself, then they'll be more apt to look your way.
Well, one thing too, if you give them a price and they're going to book anyway, if you really want to get the brownie points, you say, I'm going to throw in this for free because, I just want
Or
you
a
to.
commission off the top. Hey, look, give me on your list, and then charge whatever, and then this is my price. Or how does that work out? Business
Yeah,
to business, right? It doesn't have to be
right.
AI.
We'll give you a discount on our services and you can book it yourself and, and
Yeah.
make money there, or we can do it ourselves. And, every booking you give me, I'm going to give you 100 or 300 bucks or whatever. You can do it that way. The other thing is, if you're going in a venue, I would not necessarily do what you would do. I would say I'd give you half price the first time. And if you like our stuff, and I'd bring all my good stuff and I would show them that I'm better than most people and do it for half price. And then I say, well, but my regular price is this, and this is what I want. Because for me, because I'm a commodity and there's not a
It's
lot of
different.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to say, I might give them one chance. And if they don't want me, people, there's just too much work, basically sometimes. So it's not you. And that's where we've talked before, where it's a
There's
niche
more
product.
DJs than clowns,
Yeah. Yeah, well, no, there's more, there's a lot of DJs, but there's not this top tier, this like 10, 15, 20, or 50 people who are kind of world class. That's a
Sure.
top tier. And I've talked probably 5 or 10 years ago, we were talking about there was Walmart, and then there was Target, and then there was Macy's, and just they're different targets. Or just basically, you don't have to name names, but there's a lower tier, a middle tier, and an upper tier. And some people want to buy the upper tier, and they wouldn't even consider any of the others because in their mind, the most expensive is the best.
The
Okay.
prestige
Right.
buddies.
So there, yeah. So, but the middle, what the middle can do to jump up to that says, we're as good as that. We're just a little lower, and we're going to throw in more stuff. And but look at our, we have 200 5-star reviews. So, and that's where the middle comes in. And the lower, they've got, well, we're the best prices in town, and you're not going to get all that, but you're going to get something good. That's how they're
Yeah.
going to sell that.
It's
It's
not to overlook like a good salesperson. Like I mean, uh,
again,
yeah,
you've got those people, the smoozers, because when you become a friend with somebody, they'll give you stuff. So you can,
sure.
and so that's another marketing, very valuable marketing. You got somebody who can sell, pickles, just whatever. They can sell anything, and people like them because the charisma. We know with like a hypnosis rapport, when you get that rapport, people want to work with you. You know, so at the end, you want to be a good salesman too.
Yeah, I
Uh,
was talking to somebody yesterday, and I was on speakerphone on a FaceTime chat, and then while I was talking to him, I got a phone call for the business, and I ran the guy through the whole sales pitch, right? And then he's like, "Man, that was smooth." I go, "Yeah, I teach it." Like I mean, it was scripted, kind of, but like people don't realize that you could do that too, and like how that works out. But again, that's not really AI driven, but like sometimes people like I didn't personally understand that when teaching somebody language patterns or sales, how that worked or how to make a script. Or again, when I went to go see Rich in Nashville, stage hypnotist, I learned so many different things on top of what I already learned from language and persuasion from NLP and hypnosis. But anyway, that's not really AI driven, but those things are as important as AI too, because they work together, dovetail. So just keep that in mind. But anyway, I'll be covering as much as I can when I'm in Atlantic City. And I was just texting Chris Washburn, and he was giving me some tips as well. For those of you in the community, Chris, aren't in the community, Chris Washburn talks at all of the expos, like every single one. And the funniest thing is, I'm from a small town in New York, very small, like nobody knows where it is, like impossible. This guy is from there, and I didn't even know him. Like I had moved away by the time he had gotten there. So, but anyway, that's crazy that we both became DJs and are in the space. So it's just, I guess there's something about Plattsburgh. We needed entertainment because there was nothing else to do in that town. But anyway, and anyway, AI, I mean, a lot of people get really polarized about it. This is because they probably don't have the blueprint mapped out or how it works or what you should be doing. And then honestly, when I started getting involved with some of the newer stuff, I didn't know how that was going to work in my business either. But when I look at my phone and a scheduled appointment's already made and I didn't do anything, that's that's kind of cool. And there you go. AI is the future. What's your competition doing? Are they doing it? If not, if you're the only one doing it, then you'll be leaps and bounds about over the people that don't want to adapt.
yeah, and if you don't want to do AI, I've got some phone books I can tell you.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people just don't have that marketing mind. They just like, how do you think you're gonna get gigs? Like, how do you like the bills are gonna come every single month? Like, and well, times are changing. People right now are scared that a computer is gonna start DJing and then they'll be out of everything. Will that happen? I don't know. I guess the future we'll find out sooner than later, I guess, with how fast things are evolving.
Well,
But
AI is already writing, music.
so so people are overlooking providing value. If you're providing value, then you'll be the one that outshines the other ones. How do you do that? Yeah, do that by being value content. Like, oh, these are the things you should be aware of when booking a DJ. This is things to keep in mind, as you move along this journey. You're following up with people, you're educated about what you're doing. And if your leads aren't taking the student chair, is what I call it, they're just so in their own way and they don't want to listen to you, probably not somebody you want to be your customer. And at the same time, you have to at the same time, it's probably best to have your position as the teacher because this is your world. And I talk to DJs all the time that, and I do it too. I probably more than I should. But I talk to people like they understand my world. I just use language, and then they're like, "Huh?" Like not to be what is it, condescending or look down or anything like that. It's just like this is just how I talk. Like, but empathy, where are they? Find out first. A lot of people don't have empathy. They don't ask where you're at or understand or put yourself into their shoes. What would that be like if you're having a conversation with yourself? They haven't done $100,000 in classes, you know? Like, what does that mean? Does it mean you're better than me? No, it just means I have this level of knowledge now. And better, nothing. I'm still working towards the sale, right? Or I still want to make sure I want to prove that I'm the one for the gig, the best position, the best person in front of you for the position, right? So just keep that in mind.
Definitely. Yeah.
Anyway, there you go.
Yeah, I know. Oh my God. Wishing you good luck next week. And
Yeah,
uh
hopefully I can dumb it down and let my ADD calm down a little bit. But I'll have
and
all these people in front of me and I'll be like, oh, I have so much I want to share with you guys. I'll be like, I don't know where to begin.
and if you guys have any questions, remember just leave them here and we'll address them if
We'll
we
look at them.
can.
Look at them later.
Yeah.
Alrighty, guys. I also have a school group, lots of videos in there, YouTube videos. I just produced two today. So